Chapter 29 Jilgrath and the Orcs of the Red Tribe. The party made their way up into the woods and climbed down into the valley and went over to the Kobold Cave first to give them the supplies they bought for them. The kobolds were all quite shocked at the amount of food and supplies the party brought them and were as thankful as they could be. Kirk, we don't know what to say. As long as people don't attack us, we will not attack them. We will rely on hunting for our food as best we can, but this should last us for quite a while. Lightmane, did anything happen around here while we were gone? Kirk, I do not know. The party hoped that Kirk's lack of hearing anything was good news. They wondered where the female orcs and their kids went when they fled, and hoped it wasn't to the other tribe. Kirk offered to go with them to the orc cave, but they declined. Adventuring with goblins, and now a kobold, just felt weird. The party left the kobold cave and went back to the orc cave to see if they could find treasure. They entered and checked the east passage, where 4 orcs had attacked them from before. The passage went into a large 20 by 20 room that had a table in the center with 4 battered and crudely built chairs, with the usual crude plates and mugs with the same food items as they'd seen in other caves. There were also 4 pallets, beds, along the south wall. Shabby clothing hung on pegs. The party searched through everything. Ale was in the mugs, but it smelled horrible, so no one tried any. Then they searched the northern passage, which turned east, and they saw the little alcove where the orc had sat in a crude chair and pretended to be one of the heads on the wall. The passage continued east into another 20 by 20 room, which was the same as the other room, except on the table were cards and 4 sets of coins at each chair. The orcs here were clearly gambling. Phileas, oh look, this one had 7 copper pieces and 4 silver pieces, then 3 copper, 2 silver, 5 copper, 1 silver, and this one had just 9 copper pieces. I wonder if they count 10 copper to 1 silver like we do. I'm guessing they don't. Interesting though that orcs sit around and gamble just like we do. I guess it makes sense. In a sense. Jack, I guess. Why not? What else are they going to do around here? I can't imagine living in this place. The whole place is just a big pile of garbage that stinks. The party then realized that there were no dead orcs at the intersection where they had fought them, so they took the coins and went back to the large area where they fought Bornuk. But all the bodies were missing there as well. Latia, well, someone's been here. Where do you think they moved the bodies? They started to move to the other room, where all the female orcs and kids had run out of, when they heard someone. Male voice, we surrender. Please do not kill us. The party heard what sounded like female orcs and kids, but the male voice sounded almost human. Nightwind, who are you? Show yourself. A large orc-like creature came out from the room. He was very tall, around 6 feet 3 inches, wearing leather armor, and a sword was sheathed to his side. He wore a black cape with a hood that covered most of his face, but he let them see him, so they knew he wasn't an orc. Half-orc. My name is Jilgrath. I am a half-orc. I am not your enemy. I have been working with these orcs for my own reasons, but we see that you are more powerful than us. You killed their chief, Bornuk. I was with a hunting party when you were here. We didn't come back until this morning. The women and children are here too, as we found them in the woods, scared and desperate. There are 6 males inside the room with them. I told them that I would try to speak with you, to negotiate a peace deal. Spare all of our lives, and I will serve by your side for as long as you desire. I am quite skilled, and will gladly share with you all that I know, but I've only been here a few weeks now. Lightmane. Okay, have them all come out and stand over there by the fireplace so we can see everyone. Jilgrath spoke in Orc, which no one understood, and they all came out into the room and walked over by the fireplace. Several of the kids were clearly scared, as were some of the women. Nightwind went into the room and then came back out. That's everyone. Lightmane. Okay then. So you're a half-orc. Jilgrath, you said? Jilgrath. Yes, that is my name. Well, my mother named me Ken, but I prefer Jilgrath. It is the name that I gave myself. Latia, smiling. Ken, sarcastic now. It fits you. It fits you well, Ken. Jilgrath. Jill, that's a human girl's name. Did you know that? Jill? Jilgrath. Jill is a human girl's name, but Jilgrath is a male half-orc name. My mentor, who died, was named Jilgrath. I took his name to honor him for all that he taught me. Jack, also being somewhat sarcastic. Well, I kind of like both. Ken, Jilgrath. I don't know why, but they kind of just go together. Jilgrath. You are free to call me by either name, or both, if you prefer. I do not mind in the least, but will you allow these orcs to live in exchange for my knowledge and my service? Latia. We don't know if we want your services, Ken Jilgrath. Latia just couldn't help herself now. And why should we trust you? I mean, you speak very well. You are clearly very intelligent, unlike most orcs we've encountered, but you are half-orc, which makes you at least half on their side, I figure. You're clearly dressed to intimidate with the black robe and hood and leather armor. I'm guessing you're a rogue? Jilgrath. I am not, and you're right that I am on their side and not on the side of humans, even though my mother was human. But she died several years ago, and I left the village where she raised me, and eventually was taken in by orcs, but not until I found another half-orc who trained me in everything he knew. None of the humans accepted me, try as my mother did. They only saw me as a monster, not much different than orcs. So after my mentor died, I traveled alone and came upon some orcs in these woods, attacking travelers on the road south of here. They accepted me, especially after seeing how powerful I was. Bornuk didn't want me around, though, so I ended up living with the Red Tribe. But I work with both tribes, trying to help them get along with each other. But it's not easy. Orcs are very tribal, and their allegiances are difficult to break. But the Blue Tribe is now decimated, and they have no choice but to ask the Red Tribe to take them in. That is what I was planning on doing. Then we heard you enter the cave, so we hid and hoped you'd leave, and here we are. Ask me anything you'd like. Lightmane. So you're a member of the Red Tribe, yet you say you were just out hunting with the Blue Tribe. You're contradicting yourself. Ken. Jilgrath pulled his robe back and showed them the red armband on his arm. Jilgrath. I live with the Red Tribe because their leader likes me. Bornuk didn't, but I work with both tribes because I choose to. Latia. Okay then. You're a member of the Red Tribe Orcs. Well, we're here to destroy the Red Tribe, so I think we have a problem now, unless you want to switch sides. But then again, we don't trust you, so that's not going to work. Jilgrath. I will not abandon them and join you, but I'll serve with you in exchange for their lives. Shinfia. Well, we're here to kill them because orcs are evil, and killing evil is a good thing to do. Jilgrath. Yes, they are. They are indeed evil. They live to kill and plunder and eat and drink. They have no social skills or customs that involve honor or decency other than their own tribal honor. I am not evil, though if I tell you what I am, you'll probably say I'm evil. Tenneth. Really? What are you? Jilgrath, hesitating. I'm a barbarian necromancer. Tenneth. Well, you were right. Barbarian necromancers are evil, so yeah, thanks for telling us. Jilgrath. Barbarian necromancers are no more evil than any other wizards. We are dark and primal, yes, but not necessarily evil. Some are, just as some of your wizards and clerics are evil. The clerics in the temple in the back of this valley are most definitely evil, though I've yet to meet any of them. But Gluguk has told me a little about them. Latia. Glug... what? Jilgrath. Gluguk. He is that orc chief of the Red Tribe. He is not as powerful as Bornuk, but still quite powerful. Lightmane. Look, Jilgrath, we're here to kill these creatures, because these creatures keep attacking people on the road. So now caravans don't travel down this road very often, and the keep, which is a couple miles west of here, is slowly running out of supplies. So they put out a call for adventurers to investigate what was the source of these attacks and end them. The source is this valley of caves. Now we've killed the kobolds and the goblins and the orcs here, but if we let the rest live, then the attacks on the road will continue, and we can't have that, which I'm sure you understand. So either fight with us and help us kill the orcs, or go join your red tribe and face us, if you prefer. Jilgrath. You'd allow me to return to the red tribe and tell them that you're coming to kill them? I don't think you'd do that, because that would be foolish. So you need the attacks on the road to stop. If they stop, then everything's fine, right? Latia. Even if you could guarantee that the orcs here will stop, there's all the other caves that we've yet to explore. What's in those caves, by the way? Jilgrath. Can these orcs here be allowed to go back into this room? The kids are quite restless. I give you my word that they will stay there while we talk. The party allowed it. Jilgrath. I only know a little, as I don't ask, and I hear little. I know of the clerics in the temple, but I've never been there, since no one is allowed to go over there other than the chiefs. Apparently very big and scary creatures are in caves over there too. The cave across from us is hobgoblins, and the cave straight west of here are bugbears. That's basically all I know. Lightmane. Bugbears. Oh no. Latia. Okay, what are bugbears? They sound like a hybrid of a bug and a bear. Ick. Lightmane. A bugbear is probably about as powerful as Bornuk. Latia, looking scared now. Okay, well, we're not going there then. Latia was shaking her head now, not knowing what to do after hearing that. Jilgrath. You defeated Bornuk. With my help, together, we can defeat the bugbears, which would make the orcs happy, let alone myself, as I despise bugbears. I despise hobgoblins too, and the goblins and kobolds that you killed. I am very glad that you've succeeded, and want very much to help you, as I have always wanted to go adventuring, but I'm sure you know why that has never happened. The moment Lightmane heard Jilgrath say that he wanted to go adventuring, he thought of his mother. You might even become friends and go adventuring with a half-orc one day. Lightmane. You want to go adventuring with us? Jilgrath. Very much so. It is one of my passions that I've never been able to do, because no one wants anything to do with a half-orc. But you have every race here. Dwarves, gnomes, halflings, humans, elves, and half-elves. All that's missing is a half-orc. I'd complete your party. Tenneth. Sorry, but we're not adventuring with a half-orc. That would never work. Lightmane. Tenneth, I assume when you say it would never work that you're referring to walking around a village or the keep. We've adventured with goblins, and we just adventured with a kobold, so we most certainly can go adventuring with a half-orc. The only question is, can we trust him? Jilgrath, looking shocked. You've gone adventuring with goblins and a kobold? You trusted them, but you won't trust me? You want to explain that one to me? Latia, the goblins... We kind of had no choice. Jilgrath looked confused. Long story. The kobolds surrendered after Nightwind here killed their chief in a one-on-one battle to the death. One of them offered us all he knew and to serve us in exchange for their lives, just like you did. He took us all over their cave, and we took the treasure that we found, but left them their food and supplies. He was quite loyal and fought well with us. In fact, his spear and my arrow was the blow that killed Bornuk. Jilgrath, his eyes wide now. A kobold helped you kill Bornuk? That's unbelievable. Is he still in their cave? May I meet him? Lightmane, maybe. First, though, tell us, where did you put all the dead orcs? Jilgrath. Outside in the valley, towards the front. It's a good place to put dead bodies. Scares away possible intruders. Food for the vultures, too. You know, if Gluguk sees that you've killed Bornuk, it would mean he's king now. That would make him very happy, and he could be your ally, along with myself, and apparently some kobolds. You seem to be recruiting a party of monsters here, in addition to killing them. Belfin. The monsters here are attacking people on the road. We can't let them live. Jilgrath. I know. You've already said that. Yet some of the kobolds still live. So why not these orcs too? I'm guessing the kobolds agreed to not attack people on the road in exchange for sparing their lives? Belfin. They did. Jilgrath. Well, if Gluguk sees you killed Bornuk and you make the same deal with him, he'll take it. Latia. Not if he has no choice. Is the temple making them attack people on the road? We have information that suggests that's their plan. The keep is an impenetrable fortress, but attacking their supply lines will crush them. If the clerics order the attacks, they won't have a choice. Jilgrath. Then neither will those kobolds. Latia. We killed their chief. Only the chiefs see the clerics, apparently. Jilgrath. Then when the kobold chieftain doesn't show, I have a feeling the clerics will come and investigate. Just a hunch, he said, somewhat sarcastically. Latia. We're also here to find treasure. Show us the treasures here. They don't need them. If you can get the orc chief to agree to not attack the roads anymore in exchange for their lives, we will consider letting you come adventuring with us, as well as sparing them. After all, we could certainly use your help against those bugbears. They sound horrifying. Lightmane. They're like 7 feet tall and look like walking bears with armor and weapons. Shinfia. Walking dogs and now walking bears? Oh, joy. How do you know about them? Lightmane. I'm 183 years old. I spent some time in the library in the village I grew up in, reading about some of the monsters in Forestera. Shinfia. Hey, why don't we go get Bornuk and put him in our wheelbarrow and go to the Red Orc tribe with him, along with Ken Jilgrath? Looking at the half-orc. Sorry, I just like calling you that for some reason. Hope you don't mind. I think seeing Bornuk dead in our wheelbarrow might intimidate him a little bit. Jilgrath. Both are my name. It's fine. So your wheelbarrow is for what? Hauling treasure? Shinfia. Yes. And John and Bill here are our hired henchmen who have also helped fight in battles. Jilgrath. Impressive. I hope you will let me go adventuring with you, at least in this valley. I only care about the orcs, and they don't care about anyone else here either. Heck, they'd probably all come with, if you'd like, even Gluguk. Latia. First goblins, then a kobold, and now a half-orc, and orcs too, maybe? This is a bit too much for my brain to comprehend, but I'm already feeling like we can trust you, Ken Jilgrath. And yes, I enjoy saying both names too, she said, smiling. Jilgrath smiled back a little, which took Latia by surprise. Latia. A smile from a half-orc. This is not what I was told about half-orcs. You seem almost like us. Jilgrath. I assure you I am not like any of you. My life has been quite wretched. My mother was rescued by an adventuring party, and when she gave birth to me, everyone was disgusted. But she raised me and protected me. But after she died, my life was hell, until a fellow half-orc took me in and trained me. He taught me the skills of the barbarians and the necromancers, an art that only a half-orc can excel in both, so I'm told. Let's go get Bornuk's body and put it in the wheelbarrow, and I'll take you to the orcs. Lightmane. First we're going to get Bornuk's treasure. I assume it's up this slope. The party walked up the passage to the north, which turned left and right. There was a door down the eastern corridor, so they went there first. The door was locked, but this time Belfin was able to pick the lock. Beyond the door was a very large storage room, 20 by 40. Filled with the usual food and drink items, but they also saw a barrel filled with spears, and a few crappy-looking short swords and shields were laying on the ground, so they decided to search the room. Belfin found a large crate, partially hidden in the northeast corner. Inside were 2 light crossbows with 60 bolts, as well as a longbow. Belfin: Nice! These items are worth some money, but if anyone wants a crossbow or a longbow, here you go. The party set the crate in the wheelbarrow and headed down the west passage, which eventually led to another door, but this door was open. Beyond was a fairly large room, 20 by 20. On the floor was a carpet, and tapestries hung on most of the walls. They looked nice, but upon closer inspection the party saw that they were torn in many places, and even burned in parts. In the middle of the room was a battered table with 4 battered chairs. A large cot with pillows and pelts sat in the northeast corner. 2 cushions were on the floor next to it. Above the cot, on the wall, was an unlit torch. In the middle of the west wall was a shelf with a wooden chest below it. The chest contained several items of clothing, mostly dirty but wearable. On the shelf were a skull, 10 candles, 2 candle holders, 4 battered mugs, a small cask of wine, a half-eaten rat, 3 torches with flint and steel, and 2 battered bowls. One bowl had some salted meat, and the other had some vegetables in it. Nightwind: This is all there is? No treasure chest? No coins? Belfin: Guys, look! I think I just found his treasure room. Behind one of the tapestries on the west wall was an opening. Beyond it was a natural cave that was around 5 feet wide and went back for maybe 20 feet. Laying on the floor in the back was a suit of chainmail and a suit of dwarven plate mail, along with 3 nice-looking longswords and 1 nice-looking broadsword. At the back of the cave sat a small iron chest. Jack: Oh yes, now we're talking. I think we'll be casting detect magic very soon. Nightwind: Dwarven plate mail. I think I've got some new armor to wear. Is the chest locked? Belfin: Yes. Hopefully Phileas or I can unlock it. Phileas: I can. Belfin: Oh really? What makes you so certain? Phileas: Because I have this key here. I'd check for traps though before you open it. I will too. Phileas had just found a key hidden in a small niche in the wall. Also in the niche was a small black box. Phileas pulled it out and handed Belfin the key. Neither the halfling nor the gnome detected any traps anywhere. The key opened the small iron chest. Inside were 285 copper coins, 133 silver coins, and 14 gold coins. Belfin: I'd say we just got back most, if not all, the money we paid for that cure disease spell. Phileas then opened the black box. Inside was a scroll and 3 potion bottles filled with a clear liquid. The party was quite excited. Phileas immediately cast Read Magic and read the scroll. Lightmane: Careful, Phileas. It could be a cursed scroll. I've read about them. Latia: Cursed scroll? Lightmane: Yes. When the words are read, the curse activates. It could be anything. There are as many curses as your imagination can dream up, I'm told. Latia: No wonder so many people are afraid of going adventuring, and I thought it was just the scary monsters. Phileas: Oh my goodness, guys. This scroll is the level 4 wizard spell, Fireball. I'm not able to learn it, but you 2 should try to copy it into your spellbook. I believe once someone copies it, though, it will disappear. So only one of you can try to copy it. Then the other can copy it out of your spellbook. Pretty sure that's how it works. Lightmane: Yes, that's how it works. I'm told there are ways to copy scrolls without losing the spell on the scroll, but I have no clue how to do that. I believe that's some higher level magic involved for that. Jack, why don't you carry it for now? If there's an emergency, cast it. But just make sure you target it far enough away that none of us are in the explosion. Jack: Sure, I'll just, do that. No problem. So, point and shoot? He said sarcastically. Lightmane: Just cast Read Magic and study it. You'll see. Lightmane then cast Detect Magic. The potions were magical, but nothing else was. Shinfia: Darn! I thought for sure one of those swords, and maybe even some armor, was magical. I guess he kept them because they look nice. It's not like he can it's not like he can detect magic. Nightwind, how do I look? Nightwind had put on the dwarven plate mail while they were talking. It looked great on him. Jack, now give you a shield and fight with your warhammer and nobody will hit you, he said with a big smile on his face. Nightwind, I think I'll grab one of the orcs' small shields and try that out. I'm getting tired of bleeding. Lightmane, okay, now let's go get Bornuk and see if you can pull this negotiation off. Jilgrath, I don't see a problem. I don't think he's got much of a choice. Agree or fight those who beat Bornuk. He's not going to do that. Don't get me wrong, Gluguk is powerful, but when he sees me with all of you and Bornuk laying dead in that wheelbarrow, he'll agree to your terms. He can speak the human tongue, just so you know. Lightmane, good. That'll make it easier for us. Won't have to take your word for anything. Jilgrath, he'll listen to me much easier than any of you, though. You can talk, but let me do the negotiating. Don't worry, I'm not going to speak in Orc, but if they do, and I have to, I'll let you know what they said. Latia, and we'll have no choice but to trust you when that happens. Jilgrath, understanding her point, I'll try my best to see that it doesn't. Latia, fair enough. Let's go. Jilgrath told the remaining Blue Tribe orcs what was happening, and that they should just stay here and wait for his return, that he would make sure that the other tribe accepted them into their clan. They understood and stayed in their cave. He then took the party over to where all the dead orcs laid in the valley. They put Bornuk in the wheelbarrow, even though the smell was kind of bad now, and made their way to the other orc cave. The cave was maybe 200 feet west of Bornuk's cave. They traveled west down the valley, past the kobold cave, and then climbed up to the orc cave. It was somewhat difficult with the wheelbarrow, but they managed. Jilgrath, I'm going to call out an orc, letting them know that I'm not alone, and that we are here to see Gluguk. I am basically his assistant now, and second in command, so they'll listen to me. They went inside the cave. Jilgrath reached down and was touching something on the ground. Lightmane, what are you doing? Jilgrath, disarming my net trap. Look above you. Above them was a huge net in the darkness. It was as wide as the passage and ran north for maybe 20 feet. Jilgrath released a tripwire that, had they touched it, would have brought the net down on some of them, if not all of them. Attached to the net were many metal pieces. Jilgrath, the metal pieces adds weight. It's designed to hold you, while also making a lot of noise, alerting the others, who would then come and either capture you, or kill you, or whatever. Lightmane, ingenious. Jilgrath, thanks, I like it. When orcs came from the left and the right, Jilgrath raised his arms and spoke to them in Orcish. They then turned and went back to where they came from, but two walked down the north passage with Jilgrath. Jilgrath, I told them you're here to see Gluguk and that you're with me. Lightmane, why are these two coming with? Jilgrath, they're just escorting us. They're nervous. Tenneth, well, I'm going to cast Curse anyway, just in case. Nightwind, good idea. Get those sleep spells ready too, just in case. Jilgrath, you're wasting your spell, but if it makes you feel better, go right ahead. Seeing Bornuk dead in your wheelbarrow has them terrified, I assure you. I would have been too, had I just seen it now. They came to a door and Jilgrath opened it. Beyond was a passage which led into a 20 by 20 room with another passage going east. In the room was a large orc, maybe 6 feet 2 inches tall, wearing chainmail and holding a shield and a nice-looking longsword. Jilgrath called out for Gluguk and motioned to the orc to stand down, which he did, for he was just an orc guard. Jilgrath, Gluguk, I bring you visitors. They have destroyed Bornuk. They wish to negotiate a peace treaty with you. That is, I wish to negotiate it with you. I believe they can help us. Gluguk came into the room from the east passage. He stood maybe 6 feet 5 inches tall and wore plate mail. In his one hand was a large shield, and in his other was a large sword, maybe 4 feet long. A female orc, almost 6 feet tall, was by his side. Shinfia, just one? I'm impressed. Gluguk, seeing the female speak,
Your female speaks without permission? How pathetic.
Latia and Shinfia were both about to speak, but Lightmane quickly held up his hand, as if to say, let's not upset the giant orc just yet. Lightmane, greetings, Gluguk. I am Lightmane, and as you can see, we have defeated Bornuk. Our females are always free to speak in our presence. In this we are different from you, but Jilgrath here believes that you will listen to our offer. Gluguk said nothing, and just waited to hear what they would say next. Jilgrath, Gluguk, hear me. These adventurers are here to destroy all that live in this valley. The attacks on the road are why they have come, just like the other adventurers came. But where those failed, these have succeeded. They have already killed the Kobold Chieftain and the Goblin Chieftain. Then they killed Bornuk and brought him here so that you would see him with your own eyes. Next, they are going to fight the Hobgoblins. They were planning on coming to you next, but I've been talking with them and have negotiated terms which I believe you will accept. I was out with some of the Orcs of the Blue Tribe hunting. When we came back, we saw all the dead Orcs. Some of the women and children escaped, and we found them in the woods. They are all back in the cave now, unharmed. All these adventurers want is for the attacks on the road to stop. If you promise that you will no longer attack anyone on the road, they will leave here and go to the other caves instead. I am going with them, as I too desire to destroy all the other monsters that live here. You are invited to join us too. Come, let us destroy everything here, including the clerics at the temple. At this, Gluguk backed up, looking afraid.
You're going to fight the temple? You're mad. You will all die. Raisha is a high priestess. She commands the dead. You cannot defeat her.
Tenneth, what? A high priestess? Guys, we are not fighting a high priestess. She will destroy us. That's suicide. Lightmane, well, at least now we know a little about what we might be up against. You're assuming she's a high priestess. If she's that powerful, why does she need all these monsters? Gluguk,
we are here to help protect her, to keep adventurers from coming to try to destroy the temple. We are her army. She has told us to attack people on the road and kill them and take their supplies, so we do it gladly. When she learns that you have destroyed many, she will plan your destruction.
Jilgrath, I am going with them. I am trying to keep my orc brethren alive. Join us, and together we will destroy her. Gluguk,
you're insane. I will not disobey her.
Jilgrath, if you won't, then you give them no choice but to attack you. They killed Bornuk. I wasn't there when they did. They did it without my help. Now they have my help, but I will never fight any of my orc brothers. I'm trying to save all of you. Bornuk is dead. What part of that don't you understand? You cannot defeat these adventurers. The Blue Tribe was more powerful than your tribe. They all died, except those I was out hunting with, and they have chosen to let them all live in exchange for this deal. Now all you have to do is agree to not attack the road anymore. Raisha will not know. Just lie the next time you see her. But don't go see her. Join us instead, and let's kill the hobgoblins. If we all succeed in killing everything else that's here, then we'll leave you in charge. That will leave you in charge of the entire valley. At this, Gluguk's eyes widened, so Jilgrath continued. Jilgrath, orcs will come to see the great orc chieftain Gluguk, ruler of the Valley of Caves. And all you have to do to make sure no one ever comes here to destroy you is no longer attack travelers on the road. Once those attacks stop, adventurers will stop coming. This will be your valley. Gluguk was looking excited, but then his face quickly changed. Gluguk,
Raisha will destroy us all when she learns what has happened here.
Jilgrath, then we must destroy her before she finds out. Gluguk,
you cannot defeat her.
Jilgrath, maybe we can't, but with your help, we can destroy the hobgoblins and the bugbears and whatever else is here. Raisha will never know that you helped. She's hiding in her temple with the other clerics. They believe they're safe there. Once we've destroyed everything else here, you can go back to your cave. She'll never know that you helped them, and she doesn't know who I am. It's a good plan, and it's a good peace treaty. Take it, Gluguk. Otherwise, your only other option is to attack them now. But 3 of them are wizards who can easily put everyone to sleep and then slit everyone's throats. Gluguk looked nervous when Jilgrath said that, but Jilgrath wasn't done. Jilgrath, and this dwarf here killed the kobold chief by himself, and that was without the plate armor. They are far more powerful than your tribe. Agree to their terms, and they'll let you live. Gluguk, thinking now.
I accept your terms. For now. If Raisha finds out, though.
Jilgrath, she won't. Gluguk,
if she does, the deal is off. I serve Raisha. She will destroy you all. But for now, I will say nothing and pretend I never saw any of you. We will not attack anyone on the road. Unless Raisha forces us to. Is that acceptable?
Jilgrath, looking at the party. Well, is that good enough? Lightmane, after looking at everyone for confirmation. For now, that is good enough. If you change your mind and wish to join us to help us kill the hobgoblins, we'll be in their cave, so you know where to find us. But if we hear that orcs attack travelers on the road, we will return, but not to negotiate. Gluguk,
I understand. No one will attack anyone on the road unless Raisha makes us. You have my word.
Lightmane, I don't know if your word means a thing, but we'll take it for now. Would you like us to leave Bornuk here, or should we throw him in the valley? Gluguk, looking down at Bornuk's dead body.
I am now the Orc King. Get him out of my sight.
Sheila. Why, Kurth, this lobster tastes delicious. You are quite the chef. Kurth, thank you. I try. Turning to Bale. So you're a half-dog. Bale, looking annoyed. I'm a half-elf. I was cursed by powerful dark magic that no one, not even Sheila, has been able to remove. However, her magic has revealed that there is a way, so we now spend part of our days searching for that way. Kurth, I see. Well, I'd offer to help, but if Sheila doesn't know how to remove it, I certainly won't be able to. Bale, no, you won't. Sheila, actually, Bale, Kurth is a pretty powerful necromancer. If anyone can figure it out, he can. Kurth, anytime you'd like to come by and help, feel free. Just then, the metal contraption that Sheila had made for Bale, that allowed him to eat almost like a human, fell from his paw and clanged on the table. Kurth, trying to act normal. That is an amazing device. Did you create it? Sheila, why, yes, I did. Kurth, I didn't really notice it at first. Not entirely, anyway. But I was wondering how he ate sitting the way he does. Bale, still annoyed. Yes, ingenious, isn't it? I no longer have to eat my food out of a bowl, like a dog. Kurth, Bale, is it just me that annoys you because I'm a half-orc? Or is it that I'm a barbarian necromancer? Or is it both? Bale clearly wasn't expecting that. In all of my travels, I've only met a half-orc one time. He was a barbarian necromancer, just like you. And you know what he wanted to do to me? Kurth, well, I'm going to assume he was evil, so he wanted to kill you. Bale, correct. He was the most evil creature I had ever encountered. That is, until we ran into the dark entity that did this to me. So forgive me if I'm having trouble feeling comfortable in your presence. I'm not used to associating with... Bale hesitated to say any more, so Kurth interjected. Kurth, I understand your fears of necromancers, and of half-orcs too. Necromancy is a dark art, and many half-orcs look very dark and mysterious with our jet black hair and dark clothing, let alone our faces, which look quite ugly from your point of view. Then again, some would say that your dog face isn't shall we say, attractive. Bale tried not looking annoyed, but failed. Kurth, but here's the thing that you apparently don't realize about dark magic versus light magic. Either can be used for good or for evil, just like half-orcs can be good or evil. It's not how it looks that matters. It's how it acts. Bale, now feeling a little awkward. I meant no disrespect. I'm just not very comfortable, yet, being around a half-orc, let alone a half-orc barbarian necromancer. I hope you can understand that. Kurth, I do. And I hope you can understand how I feel. Talking with a half-dog creature. Something I've never done before. Bale, not knowing what to say now, and feeling quite awkward, said nothing. Sheila, trying her best to lighten the mood. I think he's just shocked at what an excellent cook you are. I know I am. Half-orcs can cook? Who knew? She said, enjoying the sarcasm. Kurth tried not to laugh under his breath, but couldn't help himself. Bale tried to just ignore both of them now and act natural, but failed.